There's something, Russ is having some technical issues. I would say the show today, we're in a weird place, everybody. Okay, we are recording on a Sunday morning. And you know what that means? Aaron's not here. Okay, there's only one reason that would happen.
We should be playing some Johnny Cash in the background, Russ, don't you think?
Oh, my God.
Sunday morning coming down.
Oh, Sunday morning. And speaking of Sunday morning coming.
I'm a bigger Lionel Richie, Easy Like a Sunday Morning.
Oh, there you go.
That's the Russ favorite. That's the hungover Russ senior year of college. Every morning I'd come walking into the pod and this is playing. And those that made better decisions in life are like up, working out, doing real things. And this is cranking on my MP3
Sunday morning.
player.
You will see my kids this time arise from their sleep at a normal time. It's already 11:30. It's 11:30 here in New York. They're not quite up yet. But Aaron's not here today. He might hop in a little bit, but that's why we're recording on a Sunday morning. We're going to get this done in an hour and a half before the Vikings start. No problem. But I will say one thing about growing older. And actually now I'm realizing I don't like doing this when the rest of my family is awake.
Well, you wake them up anyways with all your yelling anyways, so
does it
really any difference?
There's something about jacking off on the weekends that just feels wrong as an older guy. You know what I mean? It's like, this should be the one time where I'm actually making love to the person in my house and not staying in the bedroom when they get up early. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you know that you might have an issue. I think during the weeknights, everybody else went to sleep. I think you're fine. I think on the weekends, this seems wrong. Hey, this goes along well with this song. Oh, we could never do a daytime recording again, guys. The song I'm going to play for you today, I had to sing. Well, my family was listening. I'm just going to say
Did they make any comments?
No, but I'm going to have to probably sit down with one of my kids and explain some stuff. Have a little conversation about how some things are just jokes. She shouldn't actually ever think about me saying those things again.
Oh,
I mean, you could probably maybe just have Ross or Brian from Woodbury. I mean, they're usually pretty good at explaining these things to their kids since they listen every week. So maybe they have to.
And guess what?
Give your kids a call.
We've got another podcast in the wild voicemail today. The voicemail's going to blow your mind. We really do. We really do. It's going to. I think it might be one of the all-time best voicemails. I think my song might be one of the all-time best. Unfortunately, Aaron's going to be not here for one of our all-time best episodes. Okay, guys, that's a lock. That's a guarantee right now that this is going to be one of our all-time best episodes. That's the way
Russell,
it is.
What do they say in the old business world? Under promise, over perform, or what is,
Under promise, over deliver, maybe?
Over deliver. There you go.
Rob, we want to keep this budget low, Rob. We want to keep the budget low.
Yeah. You just spent all the VC's money right out of the gate.
There's two things true in my life. I've never once under-promised, and I've never once over-delivered. Okay? So you'll never get either one of those things.
We're not about to start today.
All right? No way. Absolutely not. In 2020, four friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated the music, excoriated the order, and led us to making this podcast. We are far from experts. We promise to do almost no research. Oh, also, I announced a powerlifting meet all day yesterday, so my voice is totally shot. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 215. That's crazy, by the way. And from 1970, it's the band that could have used a little peanut butter, because it's one of the all-time jam bands. We've got the Grateful Dead with American Beauty. Okay, now.
Did you come up with that by yourself?
I did. This, I felt like, before I play this song, wait a minute, we gotta. Okay, so we just got a text from Aaron. Yeah, we'll do. I'm trying to open the hotel soap. So once again, Aaron never fails to deliver. Aaron has now said something funnier than we've said in the last 5 minutes over text. Crazy.
Have you guys, this brings up a question, and I think about this often when I'm in a hotel. If he's been there overnight, is he just opening the soap now?
Wow.
So they didn't have to use the soap?
Wow.
Nobody went to the bathroom yesterday?
Wow.
Same thing like that?
Wow. Man, I don't know, man, but aren't you kind of a thing where you're in a shower and you have to use like liquid gel soap? Doesn't that just feel like not as clean?
I believe isn't that a New York state law now? They can't have the little containers. They got to have the big containers, Rob.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Most people have moved on from that anyways. But
really?
I will say that using liquid soap with a washcloth just using the hell out of the hotel's washcloth to get clean. I mean, that's.
I know.
There's nothing wrong
but
with
there's
that.
something about using a washcloth where I feel like I'm one of those like medically fat guys. You know what I mean? Like when I'm washing myself with a rag, I feel like I'm really like in a hospital getting sponged down. Like it never feels good. And I get it that it makes you super clean, but it makes me feel weird. I don't know.
It's like in Game of Thrones when the man with no face is wiping down the dead bodies before he steals their faces.
Exactly. Russell, you could not have put it better. And I'll say the same thing. I was going to get one of those foot washing things. Have you guys ever seen that where you put it on the ground and you rub your feet in it?
No.
Okay. Never mind. That was a joke. Haha. I was going to get one of those. And then I was like, this is like
Aaron when you need him.
This is like an old fat guy thing. You know what I mean? Like if I'm using a device to wash my feet, I'm like, I've gone too far. Too much stuff in your bath, like in your shower, I think makes you a medically fat guy. It's just a thought I have.
You know what I don't like at hotels? And they do this.
What?
There was a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode about this. What are your thoughts on the hotel staff where they either take your dirty clothes, they put it in a bag, they put it in a corner, or they fold it and put it on like the bench? I was at a nice hotel and they did the full fold of everything. And I was like, this is too far. I don't need them digging in all this stuff and folding everything, right? What are your guys' thoughts on hotel staff primping up your room a little bit and getting into your clothes?
I usually am a pretty like neat piler, but I'm also like not there for more than it's usually like a one night thing. It's not a lot of 3 or 4 nights where it'd be piling up like that. But I'm usually a very neat piler so that and kind of in a corner so people know, like, don't touch this stuff.
Yep.
Like, this is mine kind of a thing. But I was at a place in Charleston a couple weeks ago where they did like the turn down service, which was really weird because I like went into the hotel, took a little like half-hour breather from like 4:30 to 5 and just kind of watched some, Charleston. Usually I'm either watching Ridiculousness or what's the dating one? Oh, Catfish. Because I don't have MTV at home. I think we've talked about this maybe. So, watching an episode of Catfish before going out to dinner. So I knew what the hotel room looked like. And then all of a sudden I come back and it's like there's like turn down service.
Somebody's been sleeping in my bed.
Yeah. And it was really, really, I don't know. That kind of creeped me out. Like I don't need this stuff. So I think anybody touching anything of yours inside of your hotel, unless it's cleaning up.
Who's been peeping around my hotel room here?
Oh my God, this music's making Russ talk like he's in the 1920s. I love it. It might shock you guys. I love it. People picking up my stuff for me, folding it for me, making me feel like a king. Anytime I can feel more like Jabba the Hutt. I love it. I love people taking care of me. I love people doing things, especially if I picture them not liking doing it, then I like it even more. I think it's great. Can you imagine growing up in the 1920s? Not only is this the music you listen to, the candy you ate was also Charleston Chews. Like, think about this. You're listening to this music, eating a Charleston Chew, and you just be like, well, yeah, no wonder. It's just, it'd be terrible.
Like, can't we get a box of Nerds around here?
Yeah. I don't even think there's an iPhone 5 yet, honestly. Like, they were probably still on the iPhone that didn't text pictures, remember? You couldn't text pictures. All right, where were we? Oh, I think we were at the point of the show where we talk about the Charleston.
Speaking of iPhones, we had a plumbing issue in our house. We have to have the rental agent or our home agent, whatever you call it, the maintenance people for the association come and fix something. Upstairs roommate, since she lost her phone a while back, no longer had the app. So she just emailed the people and said, I no longer have the app. Please come fix this. I can't. And I said, well, you could re-download the app and re-log in. And she was like, oh, that makes a good sense. So then there was another email back saying, never mind. I know I can re-download the app. I'll do it through the system.
Now, can I ask you?
Yes.
How do you get people to respond to your advice by saying, oh, yes, thank you, I will do that, instead of yelling at you and getting mad about you giving them advice? Can you elucidate me on that, Russell, please?
I think I hit the lottery today.
I was going to say it must be at the right time of the day or something. Listen, okay, we got to turn on the radio. Okay, we've been trying to push it because we know Aaron is now in the shower. All right, but let's.
No, he just said he was trying to get the soap open. That's all he said.
We don't know. I texted him back and I said, was it the Circle soap? Because I get it with the Circle soap. And when you're in the shower, I hate taking the wrapper off the soap in the shower. Then you got to leave a wet wrapper in the shower.
Yeah.
I mean, what is this? M&M on a rainy day? I mean, the wet wrapper, it's so gross.
I figured you would have practiced with enough candy wrappers over the years, Robert, in the shower.
I gotta say. No. I gotta say. I have taken to now eating my homemade ice cream in the bathtub at night. Once again, it's a major job of the Hut move, and I love it.
Does the heat melt it quicker or anything or not?
You know it does, Russell, so I can still hold my phone and eat my ice cream because I'm drinking that bad boy down. All right. I'm getting maximum sensory input.
Hold on. So you famously take showers or baths every morning. Are you taking baths every night now with ice cream?
Well, not every night. There's just some nights where I'm tired and I want to take a bath.
Do you ever get
maybe my family is outside, you know?
Do you ever get any bubbles on the ice cream and you've got to like waft it away with your hand or not?
I am not taking a bath with bubbles.
Oh, you're not?
Maybe I am putting in some Epsom salts.
Okay.
Give it a little grit when I sit down. You know what I mean? Like a little traction. But that's about it. Speaking of grit, we had a powerlifting meet yesterday, and the bathroom upstairs that we had people use was in an auto body shop. The soap dispenser in this auto body shop's bathroom was for guys working on cars. It was, first of all, it was about
was it the orange soap?
No, it's soap I've never seen. It was about the size of a cereal box, the soap dispenser, huge soap dispenser. And then when you took out the soap, there was like pumice in it. It was like flecks of like hard stuff, and it would eat away like everything. It was the most unbelievable hand soap I've ever used in my entire life.
Pretty perverted, isn't it?
It did make me want to wash my hands after going to the bathroom. Okay, which I don't think you should have to do after a number one. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not digging around. I don't think that I'm not touching that much. Like, I don't think we should. I think actually me washing my hands after a number one makes my hands dirtier than they were before. That's my stance.
This is like I drive better when I drink argument, isn't it?
No, it's not at all. That's crazy. Now listen,
concentrate better.
We all know what we're doing. We're trying to stall because we want Aaron to come on and listen to this song. Okay. If he comes on, we'll just play the song again for him later and edit it in now. But that's the way it is. Let's turn on the radio. Let's turn on K-Rob. Let's see what's going on. Now, if you guys had to guess off this album, because as soon as I saw this album, I was like, I know exactly what the song's going to be. I know the title of the parody song. Do you guys want to guess by any chance?
It's got to be Ruckin'. It's got to be Ruckin' to Truckin', right?
Truckin'.
Oh, Ruckin'. God damn, that would have been so much better. I'm never doing this again. What it was. I am never doing this bit again where I ask you what I should have said.
Rob texted us and said he had like his magnum opus, his greatest song ever.
And you just shot that down. Right? He literally put his hands on his forehead and said, "This
is brutal." I pray that I never do this bit again.
Russell, we should start. We don't need to listen to Rob's song. We should start. Right. You get a couple verses. I'll get a couple verses for Ruckin' for Aaron, and then we'll do our own karaoke right after.
Hey, God, I'm never asking you guys again. It is to Truckin' though. So let's see. Let's turn on K-Rob.
You did Truckin' but didn't do Ruckin'.
Yep.
All you had to do was eliminate one letter.
You guys will never guess what I decided to write with Truckin'. Here we go.
Welcome to K-Rob. K-R-O-B.
Oh, fuck me. We're never going to make the Vikings game on time. All right.
Yes.
He's here. And you know what that means? Here we go. It's K-Rob now with special guest Aaron.
Aaron, hold on. He can't hear you yet. Hold on.
Aaron, turn on the speaker so your uncle can hear this one.
This might have to go. Rob, you're gonna have to re-record this to Ruck, and I'm warning you. This is where I was told by someone a few weeks ago that I have some blind spots in what I see or don't see. This is one of your blind spots. I'm helping you.
Russell, we cannot be influenced by other people, okay? We've got to do what's true to us, okay? If this is too much,
we'll let Aaron decide.
So, Aaron, I asked these guys, what song do you think I did? And they all said, oh, it's Truckin', but you did Ruckin'. And I went like this. Oh, that's a way better idea than what I did.
I'm warning you, this is the dirtiest song Rob's done, and it's about you and your proclivities, so you may want to tell him it's got to come out. And if you tell him, it comes out with no question.
Russ and I have already voted that it comes out.
Then we'll do Ruckin'.
I'll have to take a look.
But they want it out. That makes me want it in so bad. All right, here we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to K-Rob, K-R-O-B. You know, sometimes you just make a song that's too dirty for this world. Oh, yeah.
Ruckin'. Aaron thinks it's the best. West. He's rucking in his big fucking vest. Walking is not hard enough for him because Aaron is too fucking thin. I don't think Aaron can just walk down the street. He wants to do something that's way less discreet. How about a vest so he looks like the police? Puts it on, now he's hurting his knees. Now he's walking up a hill or three. He looks like he's paramilitary. This costs about $150 just so Aaron could feel like Russ and me. Aaron's wife told him I really like it, but when he left, she just rolled her eyes. She just wants to get him out of the apartment. She thinks it's a dumb way to get some exercise. Ruckin', it's fucking dumber than dumb. You're walking with just some heavy stuff on. Aaron acts like he's in the Navy SEALs. Maybe he should just eat some bigger meals. Aaron better not bring the vest to our trip to Las Vegas. If he does, we'll throw his ass into the Bellagio fountains. When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time, but you're just too lazy to look it up online. If you want to hear from guys who chat and then they get off track, I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack.
Beck did it better.
I've got three guys here who are the opposite of the Grateful Dead because our live shows would be so much worse than our studio recordings. Okay, can you imagine this unedited going out to the people? They'd be like, Jesus, how much editing do they do? This is crazy. I think Joe and John last week were like, wow, there's a lot of editing going on. I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Rob. Lately, did you say tonight?
Oh, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, morning.
Good.
Recording.
Lately it's occurred to me what a long, strange trip this podcast has been.
Very strange.
Can I say I was at a powerlifting meet yesterday and somebody came up and said, the first thing they said to me, how's the podcast going?
Yeah, right.
I was like, you're my best friend of all time. I've got Russ in Minneapolis, but Russ is in a different room. There's a window with light streaming in. Is that a different room?
It's just there's light outside tonight, Rob. It's the day I can open up the curtains.
Your basement gets light?
I look right onto the river, Robbie.
Wow. Well, I can look out there and I only see one or two porta potties, so I think that's perfect. I got Russell in Minneapolis. Russell, how are you doing?
Well, all you dumb shit listeners gather around. That good, sweet candy man's in town. It's the Russ Man. It's the Russ Man.
Don't say the name two more times. And I've got Aaron in a hotel in Arizona. Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm on a long strange trip myself, but I'm thinking about Sugar Magnolias. Let's talk about the Grateful Dead.
Sugar Magnolias.
And I realized I forgot the bit. Now, earlier, Aaron was talking to us, and he said, Rob, I just don't understand all this cloning that's going on these days. I just don't understand this cloning. And I said, well, yeah, that makes two of us.
We talking about that sheep they cloned? Wasn't that in the news a while back? A sheep?
Hello, Dolly. Speaking of sing-alongs. And I'm not going to sing that song. Okay, let's get right into the voicemail. I got to say, guys, now I did say I thought that song was one of the greatest of all times.
802-277
and I was wrong.
Beck. That's 802-277.
I do think this is one of our great voicemails.
Okay.
All right, let's hear it.
Hi, boys. It's Krista from Minneapolis. It's been a while. But I just had two sort of awkward experiences, all thanks to the podcast.
Awkward. So
I just thought I'd share those with you, and you could share an awkward experience maybe you've had as a result of the podcast.
Oh.
I was in pursuit of carving pumpkins, at approximately 8 p.m. on October 30th, just trying to find a pumpkin anywhere. Really dropped the ball on that one. And as I was running into our local grocery store, and I saw a gentleman talking to another lady, if those were the only pumpkins left, and they were grabbed right in front of me. But that gentleman looked at me and he goes, "Hey, how are you?" And I, in the moment, had no idea who it was and said, "Do I know you?" And lo and behold, it was John from Edina. And I had just been so flustered.
He's a man
but I
about
didn't
town.
recognize him right away.
So she is finding, once again, John from Edina. I don't know what this guy does. He doesn't seem to spend any time at home. He doesn't seem to spend any time at work. He's just out and about.
Loves
the
the
fans
grocery
are seeing
store.
John. They're all arguing over the last pumpkins on October 30th. Can you imagine a bigger collection of losers than people trying to get pumpkins on October 30th? Like
From a
that
grocery
is,
store. They can't even go to the patch. They're like, "Hey, there's that outdoor patch just down the road." I was like, "No, let's go to Byerly's where we can maybe get some fancy chocolates while we're there too, right?"
Get some groceries.
Hey kids, instead of the corn maze, we're gonna act like these aisles full of corn are kind of like a maze. Let's go up and down and see if we can get out of here.
No, the gourd, the little one. Get the gourd over there.
Now, I have to admit, my school gave away pumpkins for a pumpkin carving contest they were doing. I grabbed 2, and I brought them home on November 3rd. So I also dropped the ball. We did not have pumpkins in the house for Halloween, but I got them after.
You have to carry those on the subway?
Oh, no, I stuffed them into my hiking bag. I kind of rucked them home, actually, just like that hit song we heard earlier. Definitely was about rocking and not something that I thought was funny.
One year I worked at a company, Thompson, a big company in Egan that's out in the southeastern suburbs, man, I would say, off 35E and Yankee Doodle Road.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Yankee
campus
Doodle
down there.
between 55 and 35E.
Big Diffley or Cliff to
Off
get there.
Yankees.
And the 2 years I worked there, they did a thing where they gave every employee a turkey. So you could get a turkey, and they had a big semi truck out. When you walked out, you could pick up your turkey, or you could take like a ticket and put it in a box, meaning you were donating it, and they would donate it to charity. And I remember the first year, I took that turkey, and eventually it got eaten. But the next year, I put the ticket in there, and I felt like the most. I'm so generous. Like, I'm giving away this turkey to charity. And really, all I did was take the ticket and throw it in a box. But I was like, I went home and I told everyone, yeah, I donated a turkey for Thanksgiving today. So like everyone needed to know how kind I was at that time of year.
Russell's year was literally like the story of the Christmas Carol. Like in the beginning, he's like, "Give me this fucking turkey. I'm going to eat it. You're going to work during this." And at the end, he's like, "Go ahead, Tiny Gim. Get you a turkey as big as you. I'm going to put this ticket into a box." You know what I mean?
A butterball for all.
Russell did eat a bad piece of potato. So that also makes sense. Oh, I guess you guys haven't been to kids' plays of the Christmas Carol like I have for the last 3 years.
And the other awkward moment was just now when I was picking up my order from a store that you guys never want to name, but I don't know why you never want to name it. And as I opened my trunk for the employee to put the groceries in my car, Rob on the podcast said, "Now that is a small penis."
Oh.
So that was great. So,
and the Target employees heard it.
Bye.
That was great.
Now, listen, I refuse to accept any blame for this. I think running the podcast while you are getting out and interacting with somebody in public, that is on you. That is not my fault. That's your fault. Right? I mean, that's...
that happens to Sarah all the time. Like, she'll be listening on her phone, and then, she'll drop the kids out, listen on the way, come back, and then somehow we'll get into the car, and the car will turn on. It'll instantly go to whatever was playing on her phone. And, if you hear Rob's voice, she as fast as she's ever moved, that volume turns down if she hears Rob's voice pop up. Because,
well, maybe...
Matt's like, I can't stand this shit. Turn it off.
No, I think she probably is like, well, I liked it. I like hearing what Rob has to say, but maybe not exactly what he says all the time or the songs he sings.
Well, that's 80% of the podcast that she's ready to turn it down, right? Like, she's looking for those
80,
other
85. I mean, but who's counting?
Have you guys ever had an awkward moment because of the podcast?
I actually had one very recently. I was in a group lunch. I'm not going to say who was at the lunch, but it was people I would prefer they don't know about this podcast. And somehow there was someone who did know about it. And they brought up in the lunch, "Russ, don't you have a podcast?" And I fucking lied through my teeth, guys. I lied. I said I did one for a while. They said, are you doing it anymore? I said, oh no, we quit doing it a long time ago.
You have to.
I lied. I lied completely and prayed that no one will ever find it.
No, we don't blame you at all, Russell. I would have done exactly the same thing.
I can't think of too many awkward. I mean, I really try not to identify with this pod in the real world as much as possible. And so I can't think of too many awkward moments.
I've had almost none. I don't think I've ever met someone who listens to the podcast in real life, except for my wife and my uncle who's here with me.
Now picture this. You meet somebody who does listen to the podcast. That's terrifying. You know what I mean? That's the John from Edina experience that he's going around. How is he he's on the least, maybe that's it. He's on the least number of episodes, yet he is the biggest celebrity from this podcast.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Guys, let's get into rolling going. I did have a thing at work, though, where I was listening to a podcast where they were being very dirty, and I took off my headphones when I got in, and I thought to myself, what if this podcast starts back up? And they realize I'm listening to a podcast about swingers. Like, that cannot be. Because I like them thinking I'm listening to, like, The Economist little podcast in the morning, but nobody thinks that when they look at me.
Hang on, you're listening to a podcast about swingers?
No. Well, yes. Yes, actually, I do.
Isn't there a thing on Spotify now where you can like share listen to stuff? So like Aaron and I could be listening to the same thing at the same time. Or I think there's something like that. But I remember when I first saw that come out on Spotify, situation. I was like immediately panicking, turning all Bluetooth off, not using wireless speakers. I'm like, I can't have anyone accidentally run into this, right?
See, a lot of people, they cover up their webcams on their computer. I just tilt the screen down. You know what I mean? Because if they're going to look, they're only going to look once. I've got, well, you know what? Let's just start. Aaron, rolling going. How's it going with you?
I got to recover from that.
Aaron, how's it going with you?
It's rolling going pretty weird, guys. Let me talk about some fun stuff, which is that I'm in Tempe, Arizona, staying here enjoying the lovely weather. Hanging out with my uncle, who I think also listens to the podcast. We hit it pretty hard last night. We went to a football game yesterday, watched the Sun Devils win in one of the just wildest endings I've ever seen in person. No, definitely the wildest ending I've ever seen in person. So we were at the
premature charging of the field, right?
Premature charging of the field.
That happens.
All of the little soldiers ran out there. It was crazy too, because it was like, you knew they were going to add another second to the clock. I mean, we don't have to get into the details for the football sickos, but you knew for sure they were going to have to pull all these people off the field, and they just kept streaming on there. We're watching it and just going like, this is a crazy thing. So that was wild. And then, that happened. And then we went to the hotel bar and had some happy hour and watched the Cyclones. And then we went out for dinner. And then I think we had another beer on the patio deck at like 1 a.m. So I literally just woke up as you guys were starting this podcast. And we missed breakfast, so we're gonna be a little bit behind today, but we're making it work. And the reason is that we're here celebrating. Well, not celebrating yet. We're working through some stuff for one of our great listeners, perhaps our greatest listener. I can say that now because I can say that he's our greatest listener. My dad, who I think we can call Dr. J, passed away unexpectedly, and I'm not going to get too far into it. But you guys asked me, do I want to record? Do I want to talk about it? Do I want to talk about him? And I do, because he was a huge fan of this podcast. And not only that, he was a huge part of the reason that I went to the St. Olaf and met you guys. And so I don't think there would be a Beck Did It Better without him. He was a great listener. He loved all of the dirty jokes. And I know that if he's paying attention, he would have enjoyed. He would ask me. I'm sure he would have asked me, do you really have a foot fetish? But he for sure, is there really something wrong with you? But he would have laughed at that dumb fucking song. So that's what I'm here. And I wanted to,
dumb fucking song.
How much more can I honor his memory than to record his only podcast that he listened to, as far as I'm aware.
You know what? Actually, I do have an embarrassing moment about the podcast, and that is when we were texting each other being like, hey, this terrible tragedy happened with Aaron. What are we going to do about the recording this weekend? And we're just like, oh, God, we're pieces of shit. We're the absolute lowest.
No, but you guys asked, and you said, we'll do whatever you want. And I said, my dad was a listener. He was a fan. He loved you guys. And I'm, what am I going to do but say great things about him and talk to you guys. So that's where I'm at.
Aaron, this is the ultimate challenge. Okay.
Hogan Warrior?
No, you've brought this up, and now we're going to try to make this podcast funny again today. Oh, it's going to be tough, but you know what? I think I know exactly what will help.
Welcome to K-Rob.
All right, I think this is good. I think this is a great
What's
idea.
Aaron like? Well, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
But we did, so I've not had an awkward moment with any listeners, but I did, of course, have the moment where my uncle is one of the great friend makers of all time. So any server, he's making friends. He's a great guy to chat with him. And so, of course, with one of the bartender came over and he was singing a rather obscure Tupac song. And I said, was that Tupac? And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I guess I was. And so then, of course, my uncle had to say, well, this guy right here, he knows music. He's on the podcast. And we had to do the what's the name of the podcast? And I'll give it a try.
God.
I mean, so
Yeah.
I did have that experience.
Song Exploder.
Got him to got him to thank for
The
that.
Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, he kind of has the Joe Rogan vibe right now. His head is Aaron's head is not quite squished enough. It doesn't look quite enough like a dumbbell to pull off the Joe Rogan look.
It's not bursting out of the seams.
But would you rather that they said, oh yeah, he has a podcast, or Aaron used to be on the message boards as Raw gonna give it to you. So he probably knows a lot of these songs as well.
That's a deep pull there.
That's a nice tidbit.
I'll never forget that as long as I live.
So yeah, man.
I mean, I don't know. What do we say? Like, of course, we've got our condolences. I don't even know.
No, that's not anything we need to say. We make a funny podcast. We enjoy this. We enjoy it, and we deal with the rest another time.
He is a great listener. I've known Dr. J for many, many years. He's always been really good to me. And if you guys remember this, he listened, and I was in Des Moines, which is about where Aaron's family, most of his family lives. And I went to this restaurant called Eggs and Jam. You guys remember that? It was like the hip hop themed brunch spot, and they had tons of good food and everything was named after like different hip hop groups. And after he heard the episode, he actually sent me a shirt, and I was going to wear that to honor him, but unfortunately, it feels like I've had too many eggs and jam in recent months, and it didn't quite fit as well as I would liked it to. So, but yeah, Dr. J was always a good dude.
The laundry lady's shrinking those shirts, Russell. The laundry lady.
The laundry lady.
Oh my God, he is yelling.
Lay off of the spigot. Sorry.
Definitely not home.
Oh, Russell, the door opened behind you. He looked so fast. He looked so fast behind him. That was crazy. I got to say, Russell, there's no greater compliment than somebody sending you a shirt that's too small. You know what I mean? Like, that is the best.
It did fit at the time. But it's still a cool shirt. I still got it up in the closet. So I'll have to maybe go for a walk today and put it on to honor Dr. J.
Well, I will say my way of honoring Dr. J is that I now think the Drake relays are really good. Okay, I love the Drake relays. They're very important to me. I definitely get why they're a big deal as a track meet. To me, they are very important now. Okay, in my opinion of them, started at the bottom, but now we're here. So that's what I think of the Drake relays.
That was like an apology your mom made you do. You're like, well, I'll admit they're okay.
Sorry you feel that way.
So, Aaron, it does sound like you were up a little late. You mentioned having the beer on the patio. I've always found a super late beer on a patio or by a patio, like a pool, that's always going to come back to bite you. You never needed the last patio beer at the hotel, right?
Nope, didn't need it at all. Yeah, because what happened was we closed down the hotel bar.
Once you've closed it down and you cannot stay at the bar,
you
got to chase home a little more. That's the one that gets you.
We chased a little more. Yeah, we closed down the hotel bar, and my stepbrother who's here, who's doing an amazing job helping out, and was he's a late night guy, and he was like, yeah, I'll drink one more with you guys. We're like, well, we got to do it. So. Yeah, we're paying for it, and we're gonna figure out how we move on and get some sunshine at some point today.
I had exactly the opposite experience yesterday, where I worked. I announced this powerlifting meet all day, and I was constantly stealing hard seltzers from the back. I did not pay for them; I just stole them. And at the end, I took two and put them in my pockets and drank one on the Uber ride home. And then guess where I found the other one? In my closet, unopened. And I was like, I am so smart. I can have one of these today, and I didn't drink too much yesterday. I was very proud of myself yesterday.
Yeah, I should have stashed that last one in the closet for sure.
Guys, and I'm telling you, nothing feels as good as drinking a Kirkland hard seltzer in a Uber ride home from a powerlifting meet. That really feels like, as a 44-year-old man, your life is totally together. In the Uber.
I didn't know you could do that.
You're not drinking it in the Uber.
Yeah, well, I coughed when I opened it, so nobody heard.
Oh, that old trick.
And I gave my kid a look when she looked at me when I opened it. I said, don't tell anybody.
I'm going to do a Rob because I made this joke and Rob talked over it. So I'm going to make it again. You can edit it out if you want. Rob, when you were going to honor my dad, I thought you were going to say that you've become a pull it to the cider.
Wow.
I thought real hard about
There it is.
making a
Your
joke
uncle
like
in the
that.
room? Jesus.
I thought hard about that. I thought hard about playing Cats in the Cradle, and I didn't do that either. I feel like I'm doing a great job with
You're doing
this.
great. You're doing
Thank
great.
you.
So we've done long enough on this topic. Let's have a good episode. And how's it rolling going with Matt?
It might surprise you. I don't have the emotional depth to deal with tragedy very well.
Well, then let me keep it going here, Rob.
Oh, God.
We lost another.
We're going to be down to like 5 downloads a week. Folks, if you are listening to this podcast, go get a checkup right now.
Yeah. So we lost Sarah's mom, Patty from Edina, who called in a number of times. I think just literally 24 hours before Aaron's dad. And so it was very surreal, and going over there and stuff. But Patty, unlike Aaron's dad, Dr. J, hated all of Rob's jokes, especially all the penis ones. And she would often call and want Sarah to call and say, can we just tone down the penis jokes and the gray penis jokes? And Sarah would constantly have to remind her that, 68-year-old women who live in Edina aren't the target audience for this podcast. And so, but she loved listening and she loved breaking it down and she loved kind of figuring out how crazy Rob's life was and stuff.
A real bummer is that one of the last episodes you heard was about Locktober. That's a bummer. You know what I mean? Like that makes you think. Oh,
yeah. So we lost a couple great listeners this week, and I know Aaron, it's going to be a long, strange trip, and
but it is, man.
If we go with Tom Petty, what did I say last week? Tom Petty's favorite lines were, it's going to be all right. It's just going to take time. We're kind of getting into some of these deep music lyrics over the last couple weeks here, and so I don't know. We'll get through it together though, because I think you need people around you to get through stuff like this.
That's right, man.
Yeah. So, Rob, I think now we can pivot and try not to be Debbie Downer on a Sunday morning and go from there. So, the only thing I had, and I think I'm just going to save it for next week because I want to break this down a little bit bigger. But did you guys know that Rolling Stone came out with 101 greatest soundtracks of all time?
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
What are the top 5?
Where's Top Gun?
Well, I'm going to give you top 5, and then next week I want to break down I want to break down the whole thing because, I don't want to give too much away, but I just want The Bodyguard is 101. So they did the hop. And I'm like, how the hell is
serious?
How the hell is The Bodyguard 101?
You're serious.
I don't want to sound bad, but that's the worst thing I've heard all week. You know what I mean? Like that's bad. It should not be a 101. That's the 3rd best-selling album of all time.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel bad about making that joke. I'm just going to say that right now. Then I'm not going to say that again
All
for the rest of the podcast.
I'll take 3 minutes just to go through it, just because I'm a little heated.
Well, no, if you want to do it next week, give us what's number 69. That's what I'm curious about.
Well, here. I'll go through it quick because it can go pretty. It is the Rolling Stone website. There's not a Wikipedia page yet for it, so obviously it sucks to go through.
More importantly, a Wikipedia project page. There's difference. If you go to Wikipedia, for all our listeners out there, if you look up Rolling Stone 500 Wikipedia, there are 2 pages. One is a summary of what the list is, but one is called Wikipedia Project, and that actually has the list. That's the one you need to find.
Gotcha. 93, Footloose.
Okay.
How was Footloose? The 93rd.
What
Seen
else
it in
is on there
person.
besides, Footloose?
So good.
85, Above the Rim. So Above the Rim is better than Footloose and The Bodyguard. How about that?
Above the Rim.
Crazy.
What even songs are on there?
A personal favorite of my household, 84 is Juno. And so if you guys have seen the movie Juno, it actually does have a very good soundtrack.
I'm a vampire.
Yeah. Okay. Reality Bites at 80. Beverly Hills Cop, which has one of the greatest movie theme songs of all time, 79. So
Rob claims that's some other name though. He says it's some other song name that no one's ever heard
no,
of.
because I only do the Crazy Frog version of Axl S.
Yes.
I listened to that so much this summer. Oh my God.
This is Aaron's pump up music.
In the camp carpool, and this is what Cole's number one request was. So this would be like, Cole, which song do you want?
It's this and Gummy Bears.
Crazy Frog.
Yeah. 74 for all the ladies out there. 74. Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing's the 74th greatest.
74? How can there be 73 better than that?
That's crazy. Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, Above the Rim does have Big Pimpin' and Regulate on it. So
are you serious?
Okay. 64 is Flashdance. I mean, that's a pretty epic 80s. Where is that?
I cannot imagine what the top 5 is going to be.
58, 8 Mile. Again,
what?
How can that be the 58? That's got to be like a top 20.
That's true. Lose Yourself as a top 5 movie song of all time.
High Fidelity, one of my favorite movies, top 5 movies of all time. High Fidelity. If you get the joke, you get the joke. 54. Yes. That is a very good one.
I mean, there's different type. While Matt's looking at this, there's different types of soundtracks, right? There's collections of songs, like Forrest Gump has got like all these, Oh,
sure, yeah. They just like basically made a greatest hits album.
There's a difference between greatest hits, and I'm assuming for most of the Bodyguard, like those are original songs for that. Or am I wrong about that?
No, you're right about that. That's true.
It seems like there's a difference, right? Greatest hits versus like an original soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah, if they put the Big Chill in the top 5, that's like,
Is Top Gun really not on there? Because they do have.
No, it's that's what I was trying to get to. It's like, I think maybe I must have passed it.
Because even Highway to the Danger Zone is fun. Like there's some fun stuff on there.
Top Gun is 82. 82.
That's silliness.
On the list.
That's not. Come on.
Yeah. Menace to Society was in the 40s, which I think that's a underrated.
Never heard of it.
What's on that one?
Movie? Never seen it. Menace to Society. Oh, classic. 1993.
It's gotta be a hip hop soundtrack, right?
Yep. Dazed and Confused. Richfield. That's a Richfield staple for all my friends. Dazed and Confused, 43 on the list, and that's awesome. That's a collection of songs from the 70s. So you got that. All right, I'm trying to get to the top 10 here so we can.
Well, let's do top 5 next week, man.
Okay,
let's do that. I think that's a great plan. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. So rolling going, Russ, how's it going with you?
Rolling going. I'm going to take this back. Part of the, when we started the podcast, one of our things, I think it's still in the written summary, is Russ's dating life. I thought I would share a dating experience I had. This is a wild one. You guys will have never heard of anything like this before.
Okay.
Russell, what is the dating story?
I don't know if I've ever done a date like this. Your guys' thoughts? Dinner in a movie. I did dinner in a movie the other night. How do you guys like to do dinner in a movie?
Russell, you're talking to 3 married guys.
Yeah,
we haven't done dinner in a movie in 10 years. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. That's like a 5-hour commitment there. That's a rough one.
We do dinner looking at our phones in a third of the movie before she goes to bed. What are you talking about?
I told you guys about this, but we did movie and dinner where we went to a late afternoon showing of Dune 2 and then went out for tacos after. That was
movie first.
Yeah, movie first, then dinner.
Aaron, we did this recently too. We do the Brave New Workshop, super cool improv comedy spot in Minneapolis off Hennepin and about 12th, Rob.
Yep.
That's in between 13th and 11th, I think, in Minneapolis. But we actually did. They do a matinee, like Aaron, the 5 o'clock, and we also did comedy show dinner instead of dinner comedy show. We did comedy show dinner.
And how'd it work out?
It was fantastic. It actually might be even more fun because you don't feel rushed when you do dinner before the event. Sometimes you're like, I can't get that extra drink. I can't get the dessert and everything. Here's my problem with dinner in a movie.
Oh God, I forgot we had dessert last night. Jesus, yeah, that must have been.
Well, you must have had an aperitif with the dessert.
Yeah.
Right, Aaron? I mean, there's no way that you did. Now, Aaron, Russell, can I tell you when I didn't feel rushed the last time? It's when I tried to get in a sorority. Didn't even make the rush.
Didn't make the rush?
Yeah.
You got through the paddling part, though.
A bunch of sorority girls paddling me? Sure. Also, I will say this, when it was a foggy day in South Dakota. Ugh.
Rush?
Rush more like rush less. I can barely see these guys.
You want to hit the closing music on that one?
Nope, I don't.
Is this the special surprise?
I've got one more, and that's when I couldn't find my tickets to go watch them sing Tom Sawyer. I did not feel rushed that night either. Also, when Rush Limbaugh died.
So we went to Wildfire in Eden Prairie, very good restaurant. But I think the toughest thing with dinner in the movie is when I go to the movie, I want the popcorn. If you go to dinner beforehand, you have to really regulate what you're going to eat, right? Because you're going to be miserable the whole night, right?
Yeah, because those popcorn, like even a small is a lot of popcorn.
Yeah. Well, I went for everything, but then we went and saw Gladiator 2 in the theater. Gladiator 2.
How was it?
No, wait. This is the number one sign of a guy not being married. You took her to Gladiator 2. Okay, watch this right now.
We got Wicked out.
Watch this. Yeah. Watch this. Jenny, I got tickets tonight. Let's go see Gladiator 2.
This is another great comedy bit, Rob.
She said no thank you with almost no pause.
Rob, we even to get ready for the big date night, we watched Gladiator the original during the week as like prep for the movie. So I will say, if you're going to see Gladiator 2, I would recommend it. It's a fun movie. Some of it gets a little outlandish, but you do need to go rewatch the first Gladiator to appreciate the nuance in Gladiator 2. So if you're thinking about seeing it, you got to do that first.
Gladiator might be one of my favorite like movies of all time, just to sit down and watch, and action and all that stuff. And Russell Crowe's, it's peak Russell Crowe, who's weirdly in like 17 movies a year now lately. He's in a ton of movies.
He's kind of gone that Gerard Butler route.
And they're all good movies. They're all good to watch. They're not great, but they're all good to watch things. But, does it hold up, Russell? Is it worth seeing? Am I going to be disappointed by it? Is it too over the top CGI stuff or anything like that?
There's maybe a little bit of that, but if you just go in and you take it, you got to take it for what it's worth. I'm going to see a Roman. We've talked about Roman Empire. Wasn't this a TikTok thing for you guys many years ago? But if you just go in and you're looking for like a fun action movie, I think it's an enjoyable movie. It gets a little strange at times. There's some scenes where like, well, that seems too CGI'd, and especially at the beginning a little bit. But once you kind of give it a few minutes and you get into it, I thought it was pretty fun. So I would say go check it out. Dinner and a movie, great date idea night. Rob, on my cue, Unleash Hell, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Listen.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
The scenes in the original Gladiator where those guys are fighting the women on the chariots, I was like, this might be the highlight of my entire life. And you know what? Looking back, I wasn't that off. Like, I was like, this fucking rules. I'm having a great time watching this. I went out with coworkers. Okay, kind of an executive level. It wasn't teachers. It was people who were a little bit above teachers. So I got to go.
Teachers.
Yeah, a little bit above.
Did you guys get to use the corporate card?
The corporate card was in effect because my boss was taking us out for drinks and dinner. So already I'm on my guarded state because I know, normally my goal when I'm out drinking at work, I have one too many. Okay, when it's just this crew, I can't do that. All right, so we go out. One of my coworkers starts telling us her scam to get reservations at Michelin star restaurants in New York City.
Michelin?
Well, when it's the restaurant stuff, I say Michelin. When I say tires, it's Michelin.
Okay, understood.
Okay, it's not
Makes
the Michelin
sense.
Man.
They are related, as you know.
Even though it's the same company, but I pronounce it differently because I don't want a Michelin star. I want a Michelin star. Yeah, Aaron. Oh no, Aaron likes it.
I like it.
Kind of like when Aaron goes to Hawaii and he says Hawaii.
That's right.
I'm going to get a croissant in Hawaii. Now, what she does is she will, now let me think, what do you think of this person? Okay. She will call a restaurant 2 days out and say, I'm just checking to see that the reservation I booked for 2 days from now, we're good to go. It's a very important dinner.
This is
At no point has she booked a reservation over the computer at this fancy restaurant.
Some people have no shame.
So not only was she telling us at work, she also then said, oh yeah, and they will give us free stuff because I really badger them because they made a mistake. Jeez. And she's telling us this like it's a normal thing. She's telling us this like this is something that we should. And I said, oh, that sounds like a great idea. When we left, all of us got together and talked about her behind her back. We could not believe that she was doing this. It is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard of. Can you imagine? What would you need to do to be able to call and say, I need a reservation, knowing that you don't have one, knowing that that's the scam you're going to run? And she said it works every time.
The only thing I could think of, if it was like the one time in your life thing for some reason that would, and I can't even think of it right now, right? Mm-hmm. Like some crazy reason, like Barack Obama called you up and said, hey, let's have dinner. And you just had to get him into the best.
Matt, we're going to go have dinner together. Oh, I haven't broke that out yet, guys. Great impression.
Nailed it.
It was
So
really
I can't
good.
think of anything.
On the one
I can't
hand,
think of anything. That's pretty bad.
Matt, I'm so hungry from calling in these drone strikes. We got to go have dinner.
you knew you were going to get me with
Rob,
the drone
this
strikes.
sounds like someone who would skip ahead online. Don't people stand online?
Yeah. No. Oh, but that's the
Or
thing
using
is like
online like an East Coaster.
if she's just a New Yorker, it's not even an East Coast thing. It's so weird. It to me, it's just like says so much about a person. Like if I did that, the food would taste like ash to me. And then if I did that, I would never in a million years tell anybody that I did that.
Oh.
That's like now when I'm working with this person, I'm like, oh, you're like a true. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. They're a true sociopath, right? The society of rules do not apply to them.
There are people in the world that when they see an opening are going to take the opening, and there are people that aren't. And this isn't the way I would do things, but I think there's more people in the world than you would think that will skip a rule, will skip the line,
if I'm not
will
doing
jump
it,
ahead of
somebody else
everyone
is
else,
doing it.
and
Yeah.
the rule doesn't. If they could say no, is what she would say.
Listen, we can be accepting all we want, but the bottom line is if you found out your kid was doing this, would you say to them, oh, okay, that's okay? No, of course not. You would say you're a terrible person and you need to go get your head shrinked. Right? Like it's just, I can't believe it. I just, to me.
I can't believe your mom influenced you this way to become this person.
Did you tell them you steal stuff from the airport?
Yeah. What was your?
It's time for
What was your stand?
Did you tell them that you run up credit cards? You didn't call them the next day.
Everyone's got their own thing that for their mind they think is okay.
I brought up the airport stealing thing once at work and it got a very negative reception. So I don't do that anymore. I had to laugh it off.
Mine would be a while back. They were redoing the blacktop, the cement in our street, and they said don't drive on it. And one day I had nowhere else to park, like within 6 block radius, and I drove over the damn thing. I knew it wasn't going to matter, but I drove over it. Someone saw me doing it. They got really annoyed with me, and you know what? They were right.
Doing it nice.
They were right.
Right.
I was in the wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of like that pervert with my dog. You know what I mean? Like I knew he was right, but I still had to call him a pervert publicly. It's just the way it goes. Sorry.
Well, you said that was kind of.
You're getting called out as a
I don't
pervert.
remember the story.
Oh, come on, Aaron. It should be the front of your head right now. All right, listen. Let's talk about American Beauty by the Grateful Dead. Okay, we're finally into our jam band era. We haven't had a real jam band before this, right? Maybe the Almonds a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Almonds.
Almond would be the one, right?
Some people think like Neil Young and some of those kind of fall into some of that stuff.
You had a Pearl
Crosby,
Jam.
Stills, Nash.
So what is your guys' relationship? Before we start, what is your guys' relationship with the Grateful Dead? Now, I have said in the past, and it got edited out because it sounded creepy, I was always a fan of the Grateful Dead just because attractive women in my high school wore the shirts. So to me, that's what I have always associated with it.
Are you going to edit that out again now, or do we have to?
Yeah, because you guys didn't really respond in a way I liked, and it made me sound weird, which I would never want to do on this podcast. But I have to say, like, to me, my friends growing up were really into jam bands. They would go to see Fish. And I just could never. And so it was kind of a little Grateful Dead in there too. I just could never get into it. But I like this album. I thought it sounded cool. I like bluegrass. I like this country sound. I just can't get into jam bands. I don't know. What about you guys with the Grateful Dead?
I'll go for it. I mean, I've always been kind of Grateful Dead adjacent. I like the Allman Brothers way more than I like the Grateful Dead, but I like the Grateful Dead. I kind of got into the jam band scene. Scott from Alexandria now, a few people know who that is. Got into a band called Widespread Panic, which was much more guitar heavy. And so that's really my jam for jam bands, I'm using my air quotes here, is just a lot more heavier guitar than what this is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I've said it a few times. Fish, I really don't. I mean, Fish is such a noodling, it's too much for me.
Smoking Indo.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
I know this.
Fish.
Hey, for all the deep listeners, I know that's the wrong band. I know it.
Yeah,
I love it.
They have some hard songs. They've got some radio songs, all of a sudden kind of a thing. I think it's kind of like video games for me, where I'm not good at video games. And so I never got into video games because every time I'd play with somebody, they would just kick the shit out of me. And it's kind of like the Grateful Dead. I mean, there's some pretty good like TikToks and Instagrams where they will play a live show And then they'll ask these deadheads, like, when was this from?
Yes,
and this guy will be like, oh, well, I mean, I can kind of hear this instrument in the background. So it had to be between 80 and 83. And, the voice is a little tired here. So it must have been at the end of a show. So I'm going to say December of 81. And the guy would be like, actually, it was January of 82. And they're like, dead on. So there's some people that are such big deadheads that it's like Russell, we should probably not put in our description, we're the number one Grateful Dead podcast, because we will get vitriol from thousands of people. If we just said, we're an average.
Vitriol is good for ratings, Matt.
But yeah, do we think this is going to be
we should.
Highly downloaded podcast then?
But
can you imagine old stoners being mad at us on the computer?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think there will be a few, but it's almost like there's such a popular jam, and I'll never be able to understand all of the nuances. They're a live band that does albums as opposed to a studio album that does live shows, and so I don't know. It's very intimidating to me to try to dive into the Grateful Dead, if that makes sense.
Well, and I do think we've talked about this before. Some of these bands are just better live. And if you think about some of my favorite live albums, of course, I would say the Dolphins Lament.
I love Uncle John's Band and Sugar Magnolia, and I know almost nothing else. I think Uncle John's Band would have been one that was on Russell's Winamp, so that's my...
No, I think I had two on the Winamp. The one, my favorite, the song I know from the Grateful Dead, and I don't know all the Grateful Dead stuff. I wouldn't be considered a Deadhead. It's beyond my music knowledge, but my relationship comes through Bill Walton. Bill Walton is probably one of the most famous Deadheads ever.
He is. Yep.
It's like if you're a basketball fan, he was always talking about the Grateful Dead, but he for a while had a show where I think he would go through the US, and the song that played for his show, I don't remember what the TV show was, but they would play Truckin', was like the theme show to his TV show that he had for a few years. So for me, the Grateful Dead brings back Bill Walton. Throw it down, big man, throw it down.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot believe that your favorite Grateful Dead song is not Touch of Grey, Russell. Oh. To me, that makes a lot more sense.
If I just had a touch, I wouldn't have a worry here, Rob. Blackjack dealers wouldn't ask me how old I was if I had a touch of gray.
Listen, when blackjack dealers are concerned for you, you've hit the absolute bottom. Good. Can you imagine the shit they see that they're like, bro, are you doing okay? By the way, Russell's saying that you shouldn't go to the bar after the bar closes to get drinks. It does make me think of Las Vegas, where Russell's the king of being like, okay, we're going back to the hotel room. And then Russell's like, guys, I'm just going to sit down and play a couple more hands. And then the next morning, every time we're like, Russell, how'd it go? He's like, I couldn't grab my chips. I didn't know what was going on. Or he won $1,000.
Kurt.
There he is.
Can you hear? They can hear you on the microphone. You can say hello.
Hi, boys. How are you?
Doing well.
Great.
You saw a crazy football game yesterday.
Yeah, quite a deal. I was more concerned about a couple things, though. Last night, Aaron had me eat some catfish. Or not catfish. It was catfish, not dish.
Aaron should not be making people eat his stuff.
Hold on. Listen to this, Uncle John. Listen to this. Hold on. Listen.
Then he's got this foot fetish. What the hell's that all about?
Oh, my God. This is the greatest podcast of all time.
Unbelievable.
You knew.
Well, it's good to see you guys. I can hardly, I listen to you every week, and it's amazing sometimes.
We appreciate it so much, and we're sorry that we woke you up this morning by demanding that Aaron gets up and does the podcast. We yelled at him.
I'm an old fart, and sleep is important to me. That's for damn sure.
We needed it today.
Absolutely did need it today. Carry on, guys.
Good.
Do a good job.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking American Beauty. Comes out in 1970. This is their second album of 1970. This is really Jerry Garcia and this guy Robert Hunter at their kind of peak. Now, Robert Hunter never played with the band. He was just a lyricist who wrote a lot of these songs. And basically, this is kind of a double album, kind of with Working Man, the album they released earlier that year. But this has a little bit more country, a little bit more bluegrass. And you can hear it because Jerry Garcia is playing more pedal steel guitar on this album. And this is the first time where they had a full-time mandolin player. So they're really kind of getting into that scene. By the way, Robert Hunter, the lyricist, was one of the guys involved in that LSD experiment out in California, where they were really taking the psychotropic. So that's a big part of this kind of Grateful Dead, I guess, aura, if you want to talk about it that way. This album comes out right after, now think about this, the dad of the drummer, Mickey Hart, was their manager of the band. And they found out that he had just skipped town with $70,000 of the Grateful Dead's money. Ooh. So your kid's in a band, you become the manager, and then you leave over $70,000 in 1970. That's crazy to me. Listen, I've had some bad moments as a parent. I have never skipped town after managing my kid's band with $70,000. Wait, no, not $70,000.
Maybe $69,000.
But would you?
Well, I don't know. Get away from my family, and I got $70,000. Let me think about that.
In U.S. dollar, I'll do the conversion for you, Rob.
Okay, good, thank you. And they said that at the time at the studio, they were there with Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane, Santana, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and they said a lot of their singing they actually got from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and that's why you can hear so many harmonies on this album. And when you compare them to Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, I think you really hear it on this album. This album was their most successful commercial release. It got up all the way up to 30. The song Truckin' got up to 64, which is really their only commercial hit until A Touch of Grey, which actually was a surprise hit that came out like 15 years later. So let's get into American Beauty, and we're going to start with Box of Rain. The song, this is one of the albums where the other members of the band contribute a lot. This is bassist Phil Lesh. It's his song. He's singing it. And one of the interesting things about the bass playing to Phil Lesh is that he was one of these bass players like Jack Bruce who said, hey, the bass can be part of the melody. It doesn't just have to keep time. It can be a more interesting instrument. And you really hear that throughout this album.
I was reading, this was inspired by vocal harmonies from Crosby, Stills, and Nash. This is what this whole album sounds like. Very similar, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Very much so.
Yeah, with the harmonies and
Phil Lesh did not sing the song in concert barely ever because he actually damaged his voice through improper singing technique, which makes me a little worried, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. With my parody songs, I could be blowing up my voice.
I can't remember what the most extreme version of your voice was.
It's when I tried doing the AC/DC high voice. That's when I knew that maybe singing was not in my future. Next up, I love this song, Friend of the Devil. I used to have this on my Winamp, and this is it's kind of a fun. It's got covered by Loggins and Messina, Tom Petty, Counting Crows.
Got a little pickup to it. Nice, catchy tune.
So I'm going to ask a dumb question. Who's singing on this one?
This is. I want to say this is Jerry Garcia, but I'm not sure.
Sounds like Jerry.
It's tough though because there's
Lead
so many voices
Jerry
on this.
I think also as a kid, the Grateful Dead, all of that, like the skull is so iconic, right? So
right.
Then I just like as a kid I thought they were like a scary band, right? Like you would see their imagery and then when I finally heard them, I was like, oh, this music's so nice. Like I expected it to be like I don't know.
Curtains don't match the drapes, do they, Aaron?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh my God. Speaking of Touch of Grey. Now here's the thing. Is that all I remember, one of the few things I remember from middle school is somebody gave a report on Jerry Garcia. Oh, I almost said Cherry Garcia. On Jerry Garcia.
That was good stuff.
And said that he is missing half of his ring finger due to a sledding accident. When he was a kid, a sled ran over his finger and chopped it off. And he became a guitar player. That always scared the hell out of me when I thought about being hurt in a sledding accident. My number one sledding accident was somebody hitting me on a tube and I flipped over them, like that famous newscaster who did that. You guys have any major sledding incidents growing up?
We had the back hill across the street that would go onto the pond. I think I've told you guys this before, where it was essentially, I don't know how to put this right. There was a game you would play with football where you'd try to tackle everyone. It had an inappropriate name when we were kids. We don't need to mention that, but it was kind of that version of sledding down the hill. So it was everyone's on sleds to start. It's a race to the bottom, but anything goes. So it's like tackling off of sleds, pulling people off of sleds. It was like essentially a war to the bottom. That was a big thing we did for probably about 4 or 5 years when we were kids.
Russell, what do you
Russell's
think?
Old neighborhood stories.
What do you think kids would have said to you, Russell, if you would have showed up with a helmet? Like I would have made my kids wear if they were doing that activity. You think they would have said,
gone over well? Yeah. I think we used to make fun of kids like if they would wear knee pads when we play roller hockey. Like there was no quarter given for people that wanted to take safety measures.
Sugar Magnolia. This is Bob Weir.
This is a jam.
This is about a wife of somebody who's on tour, always supporting them no matter what they do. Always supporting them no matter what they do.
Oh, that's sweet.
I just always figured that Jerry Garcia was the lead singer of the Grateful Dead, and like they were just this standard band, and you know, like so I don't think I got them at first, and you really don't get them, and then kind of the jam bands are kind of like that too. Everybody comes in and sings different parts and all that stuff. There is a really good documentary called The Other One, The Long Strange Trip, about Bob Weir that came out in 2015, 2014, something like that. And I think it's on Netflix, and it's really worth a watch because it kind of. He's kind of like the secondary, him and Phil Lesh are kind of the secondary figures, even though they are main parts of the band. And it's a good watch just to see how popular he was. And he was kind of the younger one in the group. And, you know, he kind of came into his own a little bit later and stuff. So I don't know. It's just another good documentary. I know we love watching these music documentaries.
I guess they're kind of a collective, right? Like you didn't think of it as a...
Yeah.
Kind of like this podcast, Rob, right?
Yeah.
There's not a lead singer. There's a collective.
No, but everybody thinks that there is a lead singer, and that's actually sometimes people think that's maybe the most important part. This is one of the albums. This is one of the albums that we listen to on this list where I'm like, I should have been listening to these guys when I was younger. I would have gotten into this music. I think for sure.
I think you would have for sure.
Like this is everything I like. It's Operator. Like Jim Croce there.
Smoking weed and tie-dye, everything you like.
I do love tie-dye. You're right. You nailed it.
When you put it that way, it sounds a little different, doesn't it?
It's probably not too late to go to a great... Well, we could go to a Dead and Company show at the Sphere, right?
I was just looking at it. You know, I didn't realize that Phil Lesh wasn't playing with Dead and Company. I just assumed he was, but he didn't play with it. He still kept with Phil Lesh and friends.
Yeah. I've heard other podcasts talk about the Sphere and Dead and Company. Is that the current version of the Grateful Dead? Is it a cover band? What is Dead and Company?
It's the current version. So it's Bob Weir basically is the one who put it together. Then I think Mick Hart. What's the drummer's name? Mickey Hart.
Oh, I wonder if his dad's around. And then
Mickey Hart, and then Bill Krutzman, who's on drums, and then John Mayer famously stepped in as the kind of a lead guitar slash singer, who I think is a wonderful addition to try to get them. They tried to get one of the bassists from Fish to come join them, but he couldn't because of his Fish commitment. So they picked up another bass player. So I just assumed Phil Lesh was the bass player, but he wasn't.
I actually heard that version with John Mayer. Their audio would be considered audio napalm.
What?
Never mind.
No. I want you to explain that.
Yeah,
Joe.
Wasn't he famous for the Jessica Simpson sexual napalm or something like that?
What?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. John Mayer, because I was going to say John Mayer,
and he dated a
famous coxman, one of the more famous celebrity coxmen.
I know this, and you guys don't.
Has given some of the worst interviews about sex of all time.
Well, you know who he did have sex with famously that I think about every time I think of John Mayer is Giada, the food channel host.
Oh. Didn't he date Taylor Swift for a while too?
This girl is like crack cocaine to me, Mayer said of Simpsons. Sexually, it was crazy. That's all I'll say. It was like napalm, sexual napalm.
Oh, sexual napalm.
Russell is
here's the ground.
It's like the only pop culture thing I've ever nailed on this podcast.
Yeah, wow. Well, you were way ahead of us,
Jessica Simpson and John Mayer. That's
that's
where Russell's Venn diagram.
Hot together. Hot liquid sexually. Napalm. Yeah, makes sense to me. Can't think of anything else. Let's see. Candyman.
Play this 5 times.
What?
Are you gonna play this 5 times?
Did I play it already?
While you're in a hotel, it'll be creepy in a hotel.
No, you didn't play it already. I'm making a game.
I was gonna say.
Ooh, guys, we are firing.
Guys, this song is all about him rolling dice. You know what it's getting me hyped for? Rolling dice in Vegas. I cannot wait. Hey, one problem with hanging out with my family, not enough gambling going on around here, although there is some.
By the way, do we need to take 2 minutes to get our bets in, Rob?
No.
Joe?
I've been doing that.
You got him in?
Joe has been texting me as we've been. God damn, you just closed my hand in the fucking closet. What? Jesus fucking Christ.
Is Jenny in her pajamas?
Yep.
No, this is her formal wear, Aaron. Yes, it's pajamas. What's up?
She is wearing wealthy person pajamas,
Yeah,
though.
they
Like,
are.
I
Yeah,
can,
they're
maybe
definitely
Aaron, I don't know. Maybe Aaron, I don't think you have these, but like this is like something like Jerry Seinfeld would wear. Something like he's wearing like satin, like a button-up long sleeve shirt with like these are like wealthy person pajamas, right?
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
There's nobody under the poverty line that's ever owned that pair of pajamas.
We already heard, Russell, before you got on air and before the podcast started, we heard Jenny say that Rob could quit his job and just go to stand up. He doesn't need to be working any longer. So
he only does it because he loves
but
his job.
To be clear, she did say it so they could drop it a lower tax bracket so they could pay less taxes.
Okay.
yeah. And then she wanted him to quit teaching so he could become a famous so that he could stop. She could stop working.
Aaron and Matt, this is probably the best we've ever done with Rob not in. Like, remember Joe told me that we bombed pretty bad when Rob said it. This is probably our best 2-minute segment without him.
We'll have to have Joe from Woodbury up to call in and see how we're doing.
Hey, Rob, at least she didn't slam something else into that drawer, right?
I also just I want this moment preserved forever from someone who has complained so much about doing late night.
Never again.
And then I give you a Sunday morning and you can't stay focused.
Never
to
again.
Get the work done.
I've got guys texting me wanting to put in parlays. I've got my wife slamming my hand in the closet. And then my kid is arguing because she's been sick for weeks yet wants to go to a swim meet.
You know what Aaron and Matt and their families are going through, Rob? And your kid handle a little finger in a getting slammed in a drawer?
I agree, Russell. I am going through the worst time of anybody here. So I think you're totally right. Okay. I get it. I accept your sympathy. Thank you. I'll tell you what, though, if this touchdown score parlay hits, things are going to be looking good for me. So don't worry too much about me. Things are going to be okay.
Do you ever bet on the London game?
I don't want to get into this. Okay.
Because if you do, that is sick.
Sometimes some live betting. Ripple. Now, Ripple, they say he wrote this song on a half bottle of Retsina. Now, Aaron, I hate to bring this up after last night, but do you know what Retsina is?
This is crazy. This came up last night because we were talking about, I don't remember now, but we were drinking some wine at dinner and talking about who knows wine or doesn't. And my uncle made a joke, do they have any Ripple back there? And I guess Ripple was like a cheap wine, but I don't know about Retsina.
Yeah, no, Retsina is a Greek wine that's infused with pine resin.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so George Brett, he's got his ears up now. He wants to hear what's going on. But Retsina has a sharp, bracing pungency that some say masks the base wine and tastes like turpentine.
Oh.
Oof.
Can you imagine drinking a drink knowingly that has pine resin in it? No thanks.
Okay, and Ripple wine was another thing. Ripple wine was a different sweet, fortified, and carbonated wine. So,
a carbonated wine? That sounds good to me. Honestly.
Brusco.
It's E&J Gallo Winery, a low-end fortified wine. Yeah. That's what Fred Sanford at Sanford Sun always drank, was Ripple. Guys, here's an idea in Vegas, Aaron. I know you want to go hiking, but what if instead we buy some Ripple? Yeah. That's about as much as I would. I'll wear a ruck vest.
I'm going to go hiking when we got off the phone here, and I was texting Anna about what I was going to do today. And there's a butte right behind us. It's called A Butte. It's got a big A on it,
I think it's butt.
Yeah.
Well, I texted her. She's like, "What are you doing today?" I texted her and I said, "I'm going to go up the butte," and she laughed, and I realized why. That's funny. So
I'm going to go up the butte, and you didn't even mean that as a joke.
No, I didn't think of it.
Oh my God.
I think you guys know one of the things I love looking at, like how often songs are played in concert. And so this album a song from this album has been played by Grateful Dead more concerts than any other albums. But Ripple is one of my favorite songs by them. I think it's just a beautiful song. It's only been played live 42 times.
Wow.
Whereas opposed to like Sugar Magnolia's 602 and Truckin' 532, but Ripple only 42, which kind of surprised me that that's not more of a popular live song.
That's crazy. Now, Aaron, I would just be careful if you do find a treasure trail going up that butte, look out. Okay? That's trouble. All right? And Lord, don't go in any caves in the Butte, Aaron. Broke Down Palace. You guys get any more Butte bits? You know what? We're doing a bit rewind. Guys, come up with some Butte bits right now. Let's go.
Did they play this one live? It's kind of a mental.
Oh, yeah. 219 times.
Actually, they said that this song they loved, but they really struggled singing it live. So they didn't play it as much as some of the other songs. Kind of a more complicated song. I'm telling you guys, I love this album. I thought it was, but I like this album a lot.
I'll pull out again. And I'd never listened to the whole album, but I enjoyed the vibe.
I did put it on last night on the record player. I don't have it on vinyl, but I did play it through the Bluetooth and just had it going for an hour. This is a great chill album to listen to. We were making a charcuterie board last night, had it on in the background.
Do you have any carrots on that charcuterie board?
There were no carrots because you guys mocked it last time and made fun of me. And you know how I take those insults very personally, so I did not do that this time.
Russell, you got to grow up.
They put a big pile of arugula on it, like a big pile.
No,
get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Dandelion greens, great. Arugula?
No way. Absolutely not.
I think that, the harmonized songs like that one, I think those are really hard in concert to really kind of nail. So I can see where that would be from a live band standpoint.
I'll give you guys an update on my record player. I have been having more skipping lately. And so I was like, maybe it's the old records. So I break out Beyonce, brand new, yellow records, lemonade colored album.
Of course.
Yep. Put it on, skipping. It's definitely the record player, not the records at this point.
That's good.
So I Google, how do I change the needle? I believe it's called a stylus or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I changed the stylus on my Victrola record player.
Shoot it in the veins. Love it.
Clicked it off, clicked the new one on, put it on. Damn thing still skips. Victrola record player is, I think, at its end. And I will be moving on to a new high-end record player before the end of the year.
Russell.
Seems like a good Christmas present, Russell.
Yep. Russell, will you get a Bluetooth one still?
I have to. I think you have to, because
you have to.
If you're going to have a cool speaker setup, right, you still have to be able to Bluetooth things out of that. You can't set up a good audio system and not be able to use Bluetooth. Aaron, am I right or wrong on that?
Yeah, I think, you want to have the option. I think, and you want it to be, and then generally the Bluetooth ones have a built-in preamp too, so you don't need another piece of equipment.
And Russell, I think what you were talking about earlier, and I totally agree with you, something about being at home alone and you're watching porn and it's not on headphones and you got it blasting on loudspeakers in your house. There's something about that that's so different and so wonderful. You know what I mean? Like, you're truly the king of the house.
Russell, a friend of ours, bought a Victrola for her daughter, and it was skipping also. And she asked me if I could take a look and fix it. And so I was down a YouTube rabbit hole where a guy built his own DIY tone arm weight out of some old soldering iron, and that was sliding
I
on
watched
there.
the same YouTube video.
Yes.
I saw it.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm just going to tell her she needs to get a different turntable.
Till the morning comes. There are some times like that, aren't there, where they're like, hey, can you fix this? And you're like, I know I could, but I'm not going to.
But the guy had taken the whole thing apart. It was wild.
No, forget about it.
So this is Jerry on guitar? Is this like the signature Jerry Garcia guitar sound?
I have no idea.
Love it.
They've had like 100 guitar players. I think so. I think he's the main. He definitely is the main driving force in the band. And he lets others shine. There's probably a lesson to be learned there if we weren't so busy today. Addicts of My Life.
These guys have to be, are they like a top 15 live band? Like, their following is huge, right?
Yeah.
Probably top 5.
Right?
Top 5, Matt?
Yeah.
Who else would even be kind of up in the list with them? Are they number
Some
one?
would say Pearl Jam. They sell out their album. I mean,
Top live bands? Let me think.
Happy the Rolling Stones, although Russell might disagree.
Fuck those guys. Fuck that.
you put Metallica up there?
Yes.
I mean, their following for live shows.
They have a huge following. They call their audience is called the fifth member. Like, if your audience and your followers has a name, that's got to count for something, right?
But you can name Metallica albums. You know what I mean? The live versions or the studio versions are the ones you know.
Sure.
Can you name any other Grateful Dead album? Can you name You know what I mean?
I can name more live shows that have turned into albums. There's things like that than I can actual.
And that's how I feel about the Allman Brothers, right? That's why I think they're kind of similar, where it's like the live stuff is the stuff that's known.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. And then finally, Truckin'. This is a song where all the members contributed about their experience on the road and an actual drug bust that had happened earlier in the 70s.
Oh, such a great intro.
Surprise, this is their single off the album. And their highest charting, like I said, till Touch of Grey got in the top 10 later. This is a fun song. A nice shuffle.
Guys, as Bill Walton said, it's not how tall you are, it's how tall you play. It's not how high you jump, but where and when you jump. I always love going back to Bill Walton. Love this song. Bill Walton's one of my favorites.
Well, and I think it really is like a lot of this album is about them getting older and things happening. And it's like for us to be covering this album with all the stuff that's happened this week. And, it's like so much of this podcast is us looking back on where we've been and what we've done and talking about our experiences and not letting anybody who hasn't been friends with us for 20 years in and seeing what it's like. I mean, it's just such a unfortunately, it's a perfect album for us to be talking about this week.
I was wondering if Aaron was going to lie to his uncle and say he was not doing a podcast because he was terrified he'd be listening.
No, I told you, no, he was cool about it. I was like, I'm going to do this podcast. He was fine. He went down to the lobby now, but he's cool. He listens,
He likes the podcast, but not so much. He doesn't want to be on the live show. He doesn't want to be associated with it.
Yeah, right.
Folks, that is it. And the Vikings are starting in 1 minute. So we're going to do a quick rating system.
Oh, now we're going to be quick on the rating system.
Well, I mean, when your state has a professional sports team, Aaron, you got to
Rob does not like missing the Vikings. This is a big pet peeve for him.
Better rating system. Oh, yeah.
There's only one first touchdown. Okay. Come on, Aaron Jones. Let's go. Listen. Okay. Is this album at 215? American Beauty by the Grateful Dead. Is this rolling well toned? That means it belongs perfectly at 215. Now, this used to be up in the 260s on the early list. It got bumped down. Is this rolling boned? It should have been higher up on the list. Okay. Which, of course, is a lower number. We should have heard this earlier. Or is this a rolling groan? This doesn't deserve to be up this high. Okay, what do we think about the Grateful Dead, American Beauty? Russ, what do you think?
You know what? They're such an iconic band. I know they've got an iconic following. It seems like they got to be somewhere on the list. And I think there's 3 or 4 songs that I could get down with anytime. So I'm going to say rolling well toned. I will throw this on again. If I ever get my record player, the new one, to work, I would probably go. And if I came across this at a record store for a fair, reasonable price on a used record, I would get this. I'm going to say it's rolling well toned. I would love to have this in my collection. I'm in. Rolling well toned.
Matt, what do you think? Rolling well toned, rolling boned, or rolling groan?
Similar to Russ, I think that the Grateful Dead is a band. I think this album is here because of the band where they're at. They're not a studio album outfit, if that makes sense. They got to be put somewhere. They got to have an album put somewhere. But as an iconic force of nature for American music, I think they are way up there. Top 20 American band of all time kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And so I think, could you argue that this is not the greatest album? Only because, I don't know, they're just not that much of it. I don't think of them as an album group. So could it be lower? Yeah, but it's probably, to Russell's point, it's probably great right here. So I'm going to say rolling well toned.
Well, the album that came out earlier that year, Working Man's Dead, as I pronounced it earlier, didn't definitely just call it Working Man, is actually going to be 409 on the list. Okay. So, and you might think, oh, that sounds like it's toward the end of the list. That's 2 years out from the end of the list, just to let everybody know. Finally, Aaron, rolling well toned, rolling boned, or rolling groan. Grateful Dead, American Beauty. What do you think?
I think it's rolling well toned. I really enjoy listening to it. I think Matt sums it up that this band needs to be in the top half. We're still in the top half of this list.
Oh, God.
And it's not. I don't think it stands up musically to some other things we've heard or are going to hear maybe, but I like it where it's at. So I'm going to give it a rolling well toned.
Unfortunately, you guys are. Oh, by the way, that is after "Expensive Shit" by Fela Kuti. That's album 402.
That's kind of a jammy album too. That's about eating marijuana, Rob.
What?
He ate all of his drugs to hide him from the authorities, and then he was taking expensive shits.
I thought I was moving to marijuana to get away from the calories. Now I've got to ingest the stuff too.
It's like that coffee bean. It's like that coffee I buy where it's all the monkey shit. I got to comb through it and get the coffee out. Okay. But I get a discount. I get it pre-combing through. Listen, unfortunately, you guys are incorrect. This gets a rolling
shit.
Truck-on.
No way.
Truck-on. Ruckin'.
Imagine that. Guys, when you really listen to this lyrics, this whole album is a bunch of middle-aged guys talking about their lives. And who would want to ever listen to that? Now, next week, we've got Either Or by Elliott Smith that has 3 songs that were in the Good Will Hunting soundtrack.
Honestly, it's a very good thing that album was not this week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Trust me.
The saddest music of all time. Also a sad story.
Well, yeah. I'm sure you're going to be over it by next week, Aaron.
Oh, yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, nothing. One agrees differently, guys.
You want, though, if I had a time machine, I would definitely go back and still decide to kiss me in college. Not take back that joke.
Good Will Hunting, number 77 on the top 101 soundtracks of all time.
Are you? Wow. It's all
How do you like
together.
them apples, Matt?
Yeah.
I got a
number.
Well, the thing about Good Will Hunting is I know how Will in that movie feels. To be a genius who gets mad at everybody, slowing him down all the time. And then when he talks about stuff, he realizes that his life is very abnormal and not everybody's buying candy every day. I totally get it.
Hey, Rob, you know when you did that one song at the beginning instead of Ruckin'? It's okay.
Yep.
Rob, it's okay. No, Rob, it's okay.
Rob,
it's okay that you missed the obvious song. It's okay.
Not your fault.
A couple weeks ago,
it's not your fault, Rob.
A couple weeks ago,
Rob, it's not your fault.
This is the dumbest bit.
It's not your fault, Rob, that you missed the Ruckin' song.
A couple of weeks ago, I did say, how do you like them podcast episodes about Fiona Apples? Oh.
When you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time.
I wrote that out as one word so I could do the joke.
Lazy to look it up online.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed a daytime recording because it's never happening again.
I loved it.
By the light of day, this is gross.
Guys, my name is Maximus Decimus Russell, commander of the Beck Did a Better list, general of the Dating Advice Corner, and loyal servant to our true podcast emperors, the dumb shit listeners, co-host to you 3 pals, and boyfriend to an upstairs laundry lady. And I will have my vengeance in this pod or the next.
Wow.
Hopefully it's in the next.
Laundry lady. That's a term.
Isn't that
we
what you
haven't
called
heard.
her?
Yeah.
I believe that's what you called her, Rob.
Oh, no.
All right, gotta go. Rob called her laundry lady. Talk to you later. Bye.
You know, this is Aaron's dad, and I don't really mind as a lifelong Iowan picking on Iowa that much. But man, when you take shots at the Drake relays, that's a whole nother story. I mean, how many Olympians have you seen run? And have you seen Mitch Potter, famous 400-meter runner for the University of Minnesota, throw up after races? I've gone for 49 consecutive years, soon to be 50. And man, you are missing a good thing. I got 10 tickets for the relays. You guys can come down anytime and watch it. Now, the other thing I have a problem with is, Rob, you dissing Milk Duds. Are you effing kidding me? Milk Duds are awesome. And how can you go to a movie without eating Milk Duds? Man, Matt knows. Thanks a lot, guys. You take care.
Hi, guys. This is Patty. I'm Matt's mother-in-law. I'm sorry for my froggy voice. I have a question that goes way back to your beginning because I didn't listen to the beginning of the podcast shows, and I'm wondering about Beck. I know who he is, but I don't know why you guys are obsessed with him or who is obsessed with him or who started wanting to talk about Beck. So that's my question. I also want to say that we're really proud of Matt because he ran Grandma's and finished yesterday. All of us who love him are proud of him. Go, Matt. Bye-bye.